Hello everybody, I'm here with Poseidon again. It's a beautiful day and I just got on him and I just want to continue with our sort of beginning journey of exploring a more relaxed walk. And if you've watched the previous video, you know that Poseidon is a gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, lovely horse. He's 6 years old. He's a Lusitano that has unfortunately a little bit of a soundness issue that, gives us not too many options in some ways in terms of making turns or small circles with him, because he has a condition called side bone, which is, something that inhibits him from feeling super comfortable in, like I said, the smaller circular shapes or actual corners that I usually, really start out with a lot of horses in the beginning. So we have to be a little bit creative with what we're doing. And Poseidon has a little bit of a tendency to sometimes rush, especially in the beginning of our walk warm-up. And so I want to look at how he does today. I'm just standing here for a moment, letting him breathe and take in sort of the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day, as I said. And today my goal is to just kind of use a little bit of rein contact, but not too much. When I give him a super long rein, which I've just tried for 1 or 2 rounds here before we started, he just goes right into that little jig, that little trot, that I don't know if it's a jog or what it is, but it's a little bit of a hurried trot feeling. And I think, like I said in the previous video, I think it's a little bit of a habit. I don't think it's necessarily because he's overly worried or nervous. And, he's been here at this facility for a few weeks now. So I'm just going to give it a try and just be very gentle with my, shoulder to shoulder, quiet seat, and just a little bit of, using my knees a little bit to inhibit a little bit the forward. Lower legs are pretty much non-existent at this point. He's kind of a sort of either trained or by nature a horse that says to the rider, don't touch me down there, at least not while I'm in this mode. So I'm going to attempt to introduce that a little bit to him as we, move forward today, and we'll just see what we get and where we land with all of that. So I want to breathe in and say walk, and walk slowly right away. I say to him with my body and a little tiny bit of knee pressure, walk, and I use my voice a little bit and a tiny little bit of a tug on the reins here, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But you can see this little shuffle that he starts into, and that kind of he stays in when I let him. So I don't want that. So I'm going to just take a minimal rein contact and just go into just a tiny, very gentle shoulder-to-shoulder mode with him. And you can see how that seems to be a little bit more comfortable to him. He understands that a little bit better. And then, my job is to kind of very gently reinforce a relaxation and a rhythm. And, here you see this is this little jig that I've been talking about and that we've been working on. And it is somehow his go-to mode, and I have not been able to figure out what causes it. If it's something that I do, I've tried different things with my seat, and but at some point you have to just kind of say, we can't tiptoe around these issues. It is important that any horse, really, in my book, accepts a reasonable, gentle, little bit of a lower leg input, because otherwise, if you sort of continue on a path that has to do with any type of, dressage, an education that goes along the principles of classical dressage, you basically always in communication with your horse via your legs and via your seat, and saying to the horse, yes, we're walking, or we're trotting, or we're cantering, and this is the kind of walk or trot or canter I want, and that has to do with a little bit of lower leg input. I always think the lower legs are sort of the metronome that tell the horse the rhythm, and, engage the hind end, of course. And so here we are right now. It's getting a little bit better. I'm trying to artificially slow him down a little bit, and then, you can see how a little bit more raised rein contact also seems to be a little bit more useful to him, or maybe more comfortable, maybe more familiar. I'm not sure. I'm trying all these different things as we speak. So, and this is actually Yeah, I was just going to say it's feeling a little bit more relaxed, but it really is not yet. So I'm going to bring him to a halt here. Breathe out and let him just stand here for a moment again. And I can tell this is going to be a little bit of a longer journey for us to address this issue. If he's been ridden, let's say he's been under saddle for maybe 3 years. Typically they get started at 3 or 4. And if he's used to this type of, shuffling walk, then and he thinks that is the normal way that we go, then that's not going to be fixed in a few sessions. It's not something that once a habit has been created like that, it's not something where you just kind of flip a switch and say, oh, so from now here on forward, we're going to do it a little bit differently. So I have to just say over and over to him, there's a big sigh. See that? To me, that's always a good sign. And before that, I could literally feel him holding his tension, and he's just, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? And I want him just to be relaxed and know that I don't really want a whole lot from him other than relax, listen to me, try to come a little bit out of his hamster wheel in shorter and some hopefully longer segments. So now I'm going to go and breathe in and walk again. Give a little bit of an impact with my lower leg. See there, that's actually not bad. And I'm going to take him to the other side here for a moment. Make a fairly good large turn here. And right away I go into my shoulder to shoulder mode. And a few steps of normal walk is really all I would love. And as you can see right now, he leans on the bit quite a bit. When I say to him, walk slowly, and I use a little bit of my knee closure, my shoulder to shoulder movements, and a tiny little bit here with, my hands, I say to him, wait, and I might even give him, with this little bit of a raised hand, a little bit of a schooling, as you can see, because I need to set a boundary to him. And if he's not listening to what I can say to him through my seat and my weight aids, and I'm also trying to kind of lean forward a little bit, almost like as if I'm going to be ready to, put more weight onto his shoulder like I would in like a rein back. And I'm going to stop him here and actually have him walk backwards a couple of steps and say here, here, here. So just to break up and relax again. Just to break up this kind of mindless shuffles that he goes into, right? For me, that's just not acceptable. We're going to just do this for any length of time. I don't think not acceptable is not even the good word for it. It's more like I just don't want him to go back into that groove. It's sort of like a groove on an old-fashioned record where he just kind of gets stuck on going a certain way. Yes, and the flies are bad today. No big deal. So I'm going to just pick the reins up a tiny little bit again, and we're going to go into just the slowest little walk again. And I'm just basically just allowing one step at a time, and I'm going to halt again. Make him pay attention to me. So that's another tactic that we can try here for a moment. And he can look around, he can breathe, he can feel my breath, my heart rate, and we could just sync up and just be in this bubble of, pretty much non-urgency is what I want to call it. Bubble of peace, bubble of breathing, bubble of just being for a moment, and that in the standstill seemed to be no problem. So we're going to go walk again a little bit. Come, walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, and those are the steps. I'm starting to count them now out loud for myself and for him too. I'm going to count the steps to say, these are the steps I allow in my riding. I'm not just going to let him walk off. And that's a different concept than just, sitting and waiting for the horse to calm down. That hasn't worked up to this point. So I'm just going to do that again. We're going to breathe in, a little bit of lower leg contact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that was a little bit longer, right? And what I do when I count like that for myself mostly, but also for the horse, is to say now, 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 and we're doing this together, and we're doing it in the most harmonious way that we can do, while I am a little bit more on top of him in terms of my seat aids. I have a little bit more positive knee closure, while I'm ever so gently just making a little bit of contact with my lower legs, and not even in an impulse kind of way, but it's almost like this horse wants me to ride with my legs, like as if I pull, put so much weight into my heels that my stirrups are forward. And I don't know, maybe that's somehow how they did it. I'm just trying to figure it out here, but that's not how I want to ride. I want to ride with a normal leg position and a minimal polite contact. So we're going to do this again. I'm going to breathe in, a little bit of rein contact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And somehow that is a way of, making him understand not to run. And this is not how I always want to ride, but this is what works for now, right? So I'm going to do this again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was actually interesting, because we came from me actually orchestrating each stride, and then he started to slow down, and you could hear it in my voice, in my counting. My counting went slower, so I'm going to give him a long rein for that, because there's such a small difference between, me allowing him to make a step and him to actually making a step on his own. And as long as I count out loud, and I think for anybody who is trying to work on an issue like this, it's a really good way to stay in the present moment without drifting into other thoughts as a rider. It's so quick to think, oh, my hands and my this and my that, and he's now doing this, and all these different things that have to sort of be automated over time, but that can distract from the regularity of the rhythm. And that is really what we're working on. We're completely breaking it down into the smallest possible steps here and saying one step at a time. And that is sometimes the way how it has to be. And on certain days like today, I'm probably not going to do a whole lot more with him. He's going to be turned out in pasture, and we're going to pick it up again the next day. And we're going to do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and halt. And as you can see, he is really leaning on the bit, and I am only minimally shoulder to shoulder accompanying his head movement. But it's not a really great, wonderful, light feeling, but that's what he needs right now, right? So we're going to do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and halt. So, very, very good. So, and it's a slow, very sort of mechanical process that I'm just going to have to do with him until we get to a little bit of a place where this is more understood. And I'm going to let it be this for today. And it may not be much in terms of minutes and actual time, but it's a lot for a horse to start to rewire and to come out of an arena or any kind of work setting and where somebody said, we're not going to do anything more until we have this in place. Because I know I could just trot him around, just skip the walk, which I think has been maybe sort of part of what happened. But that's not useful for anybody that wants to ride and, all three gaits should be available to the rider to some degree, reasonably, right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this and for, paying attention to your horses and to listen to them and to make the time, even if it's just small increments at the time. It's so important for the process. All right. Thanks so much. Thank you to Poseidon and happy riding. Good boy.